Hi, welcome to Kie and Craig's Crazy Craft Corner. Craig is with us today. Yay! So it really is Kie and Craig's and not Kie and a guest star. So today we are going to work on a new Halloween build. This year we're going to do, I believe it's pronounced Garraka. He is the bad guy from the new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And he is going to be in our front yard this year. So we'll come back and we will tell you how we're going to do this and get started.
Okay, so next step is going to be making that internal structure, planning that out so we know where our sculpture can start, underneath the cloth. How much we need to go down so we can still attach, because it's going to be two parts. The bottom part is going to be just a box pyramid, and then the top is going to be detachable. And I believe the horns are going to be detachable.
We're looking into trying to make the horns detachable.
The arms, I think, have to be detachable as well.
We're gonna.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
but
for storage
we don't know.
That would be nice, but we don't know how we're gonna do that yet. That's gonna be a game time decision as we're creating.
As we're building it, yep.
Yeah, so as you know with Kie and Craig's, a lot of times our plans change halfway through, or we discover a better way to do things, or an easier or cheaper way to do things.
Or we run out of time.
That is also a possibility.
Yes.
Especially considering, again, most of our day was sucked up by heat and math.
Oh, it's not that hot.
All right, we'll be back.
Okay, so we did the maths, and I've got all kinds of numbers on sizes of appendages and whatnot. So I'm getting to the point where I'm laying out the spine that's going to be down, because this is going to be 6 feet in the air or 6 foot higher behind a bush. We got to figure out how much space we need just below that bush line to not have any sculpting, so we can attach our guy and his torso to that box pyramid that we're going to make, and be able to take it apart and put it together and not have the sculpture go right to that line. So if you can see, are you panned down? Right here is just kind of like a little framework layout. We will also have one of these guys on each of the other sides. And I'm just trying to figure out this distance and see how far we can come down with our sculpture, but still give us space to screw this into the top of the box. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to screw that together, and that will basically dictate where our sculpture will start and end with our foam. So now that I've got the stand ready, I'm going to cut the piece for the shoulders. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the actual width of the shoulders, because the actual shoulder function, the mechanism is the PVC pipe. So this board is going to serve as our attachment point for the PVC pipe, and then this will go up and down. So we're going to make the board a little bit shorter than the actual pipe, and then attach the board to the 2x4 upright. This gets attached to this board, and then after we do that, we can figure out how our mechanism will be attached. Again, lower, and it'll be inside the torso, probably mid-chest, pelvis area, but in the back, so nobody can see it. Okay, we've got all our pieces cut. We have them positioned on our frame. We mark them, and we learned this from the Jack Skellington video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But after you cut your pieces and you have them positioned, before you take them apart to glue them permanently together, make little marks on your PVC. If you're using PVC or wood or whatever, always mark it before you take it apart, so that way you know it's going back together exactly the way you want it, so you don't end up later on when you go to do final assembly realizing, oh, it's crooked, it's out of shape, and you got to bust things apart and start over. So, like the old adage goes, measure twice, cut once. The new adage is always mark your pieces. Okay, so we're gluing our PVC pipe together with PVC pipe glue. It's red hot blue glue. Usually has two components. Sometimes you use the purple first and then the blue. It just creates a little bit better bond adhesion. That is definitely for if you're using it for water. Since we're not using it for water, I've always just used the blue side, and it's super strong. It melts the PVC and then makes it basically become one part because it's a chemical bond. Make sure you get a good amount on each side and then press it together and let it sit. I let it sit overnight, but read the instructions. They'll tell you how to do it. But make sure you're using good PVC glue for PVC to PVC connections.
Welcome to Kie and Craig's with special guest Scott Noack. You may remember Scott from such videos as Terror Dog. And if you didn't see that one, please be sure and watch that one.
Other videos too?
No, just Terror Dog.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for ruining that intro. Okay.